Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. The show continues with some of the best. Our next guest is a smooth jazz musician, and he's here to speak about his journey as an artist and the inspiration behind his music and to review his most recent work. So check him out. Please welcome to the show, Eric Leone. Eric, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Bob. How are you today?
Good. I'm doing great. I know you're an outside situation. We like that. I like the trains in the background, cars, buses, birds.
Okay.
We can take it all because
Right.
we know first. Tell us, and I know you can use some of that in your music too when you're doing your recordings.
Yeah.
Tell us how you got started and what you're doing today, and talk about your love for what you're doing.
Well, I got started at age pretty much 8 years old, and my mother and father were musicians.
Oh,
My mother was a classical pianist, and my father was self-taught. And it was imperative that we, after school,
Yeah.
we dedicated 1 hour to picking up an instrument.
yeah,
And we just, from there, we just played an instrument. I mean, they were teaching us, and we just went on from there. We started as a group, a young group, my brothers and sisters and I, and I ended up going to school for music at a conservatory as well, and I continued. And I was out in Arizona doing a recording with Yasha Barjona, and he was doing smooth jazz. And this is back in the 90s, the early 90s. And I met Marion Meadows at that point, and I said, wow, this is something I would love to try to get into, I think, when I was doing the recording down here. And that's how it all started. That's basically how it all started. After I was introduced to smooth jazz, I ended up embarking on putting out a CD, and I think it came out in 2002. And that's when it charted. That's when it charted for me. Yeah.
Beautiful. But how did you know that would be the genre that you would pursue your musical career in?
I just love the feel of it. I played in several bands when I was young. Floyd Patterson, the boxer, his son had a band, and I ended up playing with his band. Yeah, Floyd Patterson, and it was called Floyd Patterson and Ringside because it was Floyd Patterson Jr. And we ended up traveling around the East Coast, up around Canada area, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. And then there was a lot of little bands from there. And then I ended up getting in production, starting my own recording studio. And then I was introduced to smooth jazz through Yasha Barjona. And then from that point on, when I started hearing the music, I just kind of knew that's where I belong.
You're wrapped up in it. Your music surrounds you. You're covered in music. Now, what instruments do you play? Do you play a couple of them?
Well, yeah, I do. My forte is guitar, but again, my mother was a piano teacher, so I ended up playing some keyboards, and I wouldn't call myself virtuoso.
She calls it piano, or they call it piano, and we come and change it and call it keyboards.
Yeah, we call it keyboards. Yeah, and as technology evolves, you start using the keyboards or the piano to do your production, and the production came easy to me. That was something when I opened up my recording studio, I started learning about production, so I became well-rounded, so to speak.
And now,
as far as other instruments, I did play sax. That was actually my first instrument.
That's the closest instrument to the human voice.
Oh yeah, and the saxophone. And the saxophone, it's not like you have to solely use your ears when you're playing the sax. So I played sax for a little while, and then I played drums. You know,
Wow.
back in my day, we did live drums, and I did some live drums on recordings as well. So, you know, I did the whole gamut.
Well,
as far as
that
music
was
is
then. This is now. Now, do you use a drum machine now, or you still have a live drummer come into the studio?
I would use both. It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the live feel as much as possible. And also, you know, but I do utilize technology. Technology is, you have to embrace it. You have to embrace it.
I tell you, as a DJ, when we're mixing records, when you're mixing with that steady drum beat like that, and you're mixing into a record like Ain't No Stopping Us Now, that's a real drummer in there.
Yeah.
Now, after that drummer takes a drum roll, he may be a little off a little bit in that
it's
mix.
a little off, yeah.
So you have to know.
And that is something that, you know, you didn't pick up until you really start trying to sync everything.
Right.
If it was live drummer, because records back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, you know, they gradually got a little faster. It wasn't always, you know, on tempo, you know, where they wanted it. But, you know, it worked. It worked. Live drumming worked.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, do you have anything coming up that we can be a part of or come and check you out?
Well, as of yet, not right now. I'm working on a few things. It's just talk. But
well, you can get a backyard party. You can still get a backyard party in there before it gets cold.
I know, huh?
We'll go over to Sandra's house.
Yeah, go to Sandra's house and do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sandra
from the Bullion Foundation. She can set up something in the backyard, and you come out, the whole crew, we can play.
Yeah. Well, I've been conversing with Sandra, and I think she might have some things on the horizon. So,
that's good.
You know, hopefully, you know, let's keep our fingers crossed because, you know, with the COVID and everything, it kind of slowed everything down, and everybody's kind of regrouping, resetting themselves, and preparing for when things really open up. You know,
tours and money.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Now you've been in it for some time, and a lot of people, when you're in it for a while, you make it look really, really easy. And a lot of people think they can just jump into it. What advice would you give to youngsters, or not too young, but people who want to get involved in what you're doing?
I would say that, first of all, you know, learn what smooth jazz is all about, where it derived from. Learn your instrument to the best of your ability, and stay and try to be creative. You know, creative from a standpoint of, you know, don't come out too far from left field, but, you know, stay in the realm and just push the edge a little bit more and see what you can create to keep the music evolving. Yeah. You know?
Include the improv and all of that?
Including the improv. Improv is, that's the best part of the smooth jazz genre, when you can do your improvisation and get it from your perspective, you know, and yeah, improv, learning, playing a real instrument is something that, you know, we kind of lost that in R&B, you know, today. And a lot of people are not using real instruments anymore. You know, I mean, I'm not being derogatory towards what people are, how are they creating today, but we need to keep the musicianship alive.
There you go. Where can we go to find out more about you and your music?
Oh, you can go on Spotify, YouTube, ericleone.com. You can go to ericleonemusic.com. Yeah, you can just check out all the social media outlets for music, and I'm there.
Well, Eric, we thank you so much. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. Looking forward to coming out, checking you out.
Okay.
Maybe
Thank you for having me, Bob.
Yeah, and maybe we'll call Sandra and say, hey, you know, why don't you have that big backyard party that you wanted to have? We'll bring
I
out.
know. You're right. I'm already outside anyway. Sorry
There
for
you
the
go.
inconvenience.
Yeah, I know you
But
got an instrument nearby somewhere.
oh, geez, yeah, right. Yeah, I do have instruments nearby. So,
Well, listen,
no,
Eric, thank you so much. We appreciate you,
okay,
man.
Bob,
And come back anytime.
I will. And thanks for having me.
You got it. Eric Leone,
All right.
musician. He's got it going on. Make sure you check him out, follow him. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We'd like to thank our guests, you for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us. Just go to BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll catch you another day, another way. In fact, I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. Love you all. Peace.